Once again, William A. Thomas, one of the hosts at TNJ Radio, where we bring you the real, bring you the news, all that good stuff. And just wanted to come to you guys with a quick story that I seen out of Hazard, Kentucky. Now, the question is this place actually a hazard or something of the sort? Because some of the allegations that I'm seeing on here are definitely disturbing, but we're going to get into this. So let me just pull up this story real quick. You guys should be able to see. Let me just put it on the whole screen. All right, so as some of you may have heard, students, staff had lap dances at Kentucky High School, which this was in Hazard, Kentucky. And it says that it leads to disciplinary actions, which to me, that's kind of concerning because I know that there should be an investigation for anything like that. But for the things that were actually alleged, you would think that it would just go straight to something worse once the investigation is actually finished. And if you guys actually seen the thumbnail, I had to make sure to keep it friendly because I don't know who's on Facebook or YouTube. People scroll past and they look at different things. And we don't want to promote any type of nudity or anything like that. We don't want to get flagged. But as you guys seen on the thumbnail, that picture there, that was actually probably the most PG of it all, which was the female students dressed with the Hooters uniforms. So let's get right into this. So the superintendent of Perry County, Kentucky school district said the disciplinary actions were taken after photos were posted to social media that showed high school students giving lap dances to staff members. Now, let's rewind a little bit. You guys probably heard about the different things going on at these school board meetings. I've heard people on one side saying, hey, we need to get in there and look at what they're teaching our kids, and we need to voice our concerns. But I've heard other people on another track to where they said, you need to just let the school do what they're going to do. You guys aren't the teachers. You guys don't make curriculums or anything like that. So parents, y'all need to just be parents. Basically, the parents need to just shut up and dribble. And that's an actual argument that some people actually say, which to me, it's utterly idiotic because no matter where you stand on the political, religious, societal spectrum, if you have children, you want to know what's actually being taught to them. If it goes to history, you want to know what's being taught to them. If there's anatomical stuff, you want to know what's being taught to them because they're your children. They don't belong to the state. At least they're not supposed to. But nowadays, it seems as if the state, or in some situations, the school districts, are actually saying that we own your children. Hold on. Let me stop right here. Guys, I need everybody to hit the like button. You know, we're fighting against the new algorithms of YouTube. Need you to hit the like button so that this video will get shared out because this is really important. We're actually fighting for the lives and the minds of our future generations. And we can't take this sitting down. We got to be able to stand up for something. So go ahead and hit the like button. Be sure to share this video and also subscribe. Now, I know that in the past, whenever I watch certain videos, I'd be like, all right, I'll subscribe later. But you're not going, I didn't always remember. And I may have seen something that I really liked and got some really good information, but I forgot to subscribe. And I never went back to it because I, started watching some other things and it might have, went too far into history. But I want you guys to be able to have access to good content. I have a co-host, LaRon J. He makes sure to bring, the fire and the information. But okay, now that you guys got the likes up, let's get back into this. Okay. So Hazard, Independent School District Superintendent Sandra Combs, says she was made aware of the images on Tuesday, launched an investigation the following day. So the investigation, today's Thursday, the investigation wasn't launched until yesterday, on Wednesday. Maybe they needed to all get their story together, because that's what it sounds like whenever you talk about this type of delay going on. And this was at homecoming festivities, which means that there were, people that were coming from all over. Okay. Alumni that were coming, and they thought that this was okay. Whenever this was done by the student council and set up and passed on to the teachers, because usually I would assume that it was the students. Now, it could have been the teachers, could have been the principal. We're going to talk about the principal in a second, but someone thought that this was okay. And if this wasn't plastered all over social media, we would be hearing nothing about it at all. So I'm thankful nowadays for social media, because a lot of things that we would never come across, it's being exposed out there in the open. So let me just talk a little bit about the principal. Now, the principal, his name is Donald Mobilini. They actually call him Happy. So it's definitely a fitting name, Donald Happy Mobilini. Know what else happy means? Absolutely. But let's go here. So the principal, Donald Mobilini, he is also the mayor. Now, this is a no-no, okay? It's already bad enough that this is going on at the school. You had the superintendent, that's going to be looking at it, and then you go to the mayor and you want to get a comment from the mayor, and the mayor is already in on it. This is a no-no. But let's look at it a little bit more, okay? So at this homecoming event, just imagine this. You are seeing, it was called a man pageant and costume day. And there were, students, mainly the girls, that were dressed in the Hooters outfits. They had these little mugs that it looked like beer. It may or may not have been. Who knows? But let me show you some of the images of what was actually going on with some of the men. One second here. All right. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it in full. Well, I guess that's as big as it's going to be. Okay. I lied. I didn't lie. So you guys can see from this image here. This is one. This is a male student. The principal / mayor is right there in the middle, clapping. While this is going on, you see that guy has a badge, so he's a staff member. This is the principal right here. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is, but there is contact going on. You see that he's lifting up his fat. Yes, I'm, as a bigger man, I'm going to call out the fat guy. Well, both of them is fat, but I digress. But this guy over here, he is looking happy. He is laughing. We can't see Donald Happy Mobilini's face all like that in this picture. Let me give you a better view. 1 second, because we are going to look at all of this. Okay. So that is a male student right there in the red who is dressed like that. This is the principal and the mayor. Happy. Sickening. I mean, even if these were females, would this be acceptable? Let's go to the next one. There we go. There goes Happy right there. He apparently is loving it. He got out of his seat. But come on. What else is there really to investigate? I mean, what else do we need to see? See, this is where the society is right now. Whenever Dave Chappelle had said the things that he said, there were walkouts, people were up in the uproar, people were gone, people were pissed at Dave Chappelle. But if you remember, about a year or two, Netflix had a special called Cuties. I don't know if it's there anymore. I don't know if it's taken down. I hope it's taken down. But in that special, they had kids on there. And they were, showing them in a sexualized way. And there were all sorts of people that were apologists for this. There were people that were saying, oh man, well, I actually watched Cuties and it wasn't so bad the way they had it set up. Why were you even watching it? Number one. Number two, just from the stuff that they actually put out there, there's an agenda. And the agenda is to be able to soften the public to these type of things. Because if you don't think that there's going to be an attempt to introduce pedophilia on the mainstream, you're stupid. It's coming, and they are coming, and they don't care. And it starts over with our children. So whenever I hear, people say stupid things like, hey, the parents should just worry about being parents and quit worrying about what's going on at the school, quit worrying about the school's curriculum. That is one of the dumbest things ever. These are your children. So if you're okay with your children doing lap dances at school, with the with the stat, let me give you the best case scenario. Okay. The best case scenario that I could come up with as an explanation was this was all a skit. This was all a play. And they were just acting. And even with that, if that were the case, it's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. That's not the case. That's not the situation. But even if so, we got to wake up. These people are sick. And it doesn't sit on, don't get yourself comfortable behind a political line. Because I'm going to tell you right now that it's happening on all sides. There are sickos that are Democrats. There are sickos that are Republicans. There are sickos that are independent. Yeah, you see what Carter Foley said? He said, can't we have fun? Geez. Okay. So can we have that type of fun? Is a prostitute allowed to, be able to have fun? No. Do the laws say that those students who were caught with teachers and the teachers end up getting arrested, are they allowed to have fun? No. You know why? Because we have laws in place to be able to protect our children, to be able to protect society. This is sick. And if you're not there, because remember, Merrick Garland, he actually went on to actually talk about this. He was on trial at one of the committees, where they were talking about the parents being labeled. I don't know if it was labeled as extremists or if they were being referred over to the FBI or something of the sort. But when you sit there and think of this, it gets kind of scary because they're trying to put it to where the parents have no say so on what's going on in their children's lives. And, if you're okay with this, definitely voice your opinion because I need to know to keep my children away from not only you, but away from your children. I mean, this is something, and for a second, that William A. Thomas, the host of TNJ. Right now, this is Will Thomas, the father, and I'm pissed. This stuff is ridiculous. And everyone listening needs to be able to speak up. Everyone needs to share this video because this isn't okay. There is no plausible explanation that I could think of that would make me think like, you know what? That wasn't so bad. That made sense. There isn't any. So what we need to do, I would encourage you parents, be at your school board meetings. If you care about your kids, ask questions to your kids. If you care about your kids, check the homework that they're doing. If you care about your kids, if you don't care about your kids, do nothing. William A. Thomas with TNJ. That was your sip of TNJ. You guys have a good day.